Oh, that's so funny. I don't get it. Like, how does his fan base not realize what he's doing all the time? They can't be that stupid, right? Like, there's no way. You're the biggest joke on the internet. How does it feel? Oh, I love people who say shit like this because it only showcases the circles that they're a part of. That's it. It only showcases like what kind of depraved bottom dwelling circles that you're a part of. Brother, I'm going to say this again. Considering who my ideological enemies are online, if you were to show, because this could be fucking Ethan Klein on his extended crash out, or this could be Asmongold, who lives in his own filth and rot. This could be someone currently having to go through legal battles because he is a serial sex pest, like Sex Pestiny. It could be any number of different people. Apparently, there's like that I didn't even know about that that recently was outed as a 16-year-old. That also is another enemy of mine, apparently, or even like Keemstar. Like any number of these different groups that you associate yourself with, if you were out in the real world and you put like, I don't know, if you were to place myself on the one side and then on the other side be like, well, this guy who lives in his own filth, who fell through his own ceiling recently looking for a dead animal, who uses another dead animal as an alarm clock, who do you think is a bigger joke on the internet? What do you think would happen? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Another Hasan hater, Cameron F5305, bites the dust. Hey, Twitch, unban Aiden Ross if you enforce your rules fair. I've never seen anyone banned for unmoderated chat in my life. Hasan's chat can be so full of anti-Semitic hatred and abuse, not to mention Hasan's pro-terrorist propaganda and apology spewed without consequence, but Aiden was briefly politically edgy in the wrong direction, mind you, and he's lost everything. It's shameful and something needs to be done.
First of all, I know she said I like her some shit. It's not true.
You didn't have sex?
I think me choosing not to answer should be an answer for you.
Here he is talking about a 16-year-old victim. That person got shouted out by Ethan? No way. Actually, why am I surprised by this? I mean, he will literally lend a platform to... He would lend a platform to Satan if Satan was like, yeah, this is Hasan guy. He would be like, yeah, well, you know, I don't really Satan, but like on this one, he's kind of correct, you know, bro. I know that for a fact because I was reminded of the last time he defended Bad Empanada. He posted about Bad Empanada in a positive way because Bad Empanada had decided to do one of his like classic ridiculous posts about how I'm like a controlled opposition or something. And Ethan posted Bad Empanada in a story being like, well, at least Bad Empanada is honest. He's actually a good guy or something, which was really funny. This guy says, I would happily drink a beer with a pedophile before I'd ever do so with Hasan. Hasan is a much worse evil. Why would you volunteer this information, man? Like, that's crazy, dude. That's a crazy thing to say. Ethan also said that about you, that I'm worse than pedophiles because I like... Do you think pedophilia is being normalized? That right-wing... No, I do think pedophilia is being normalized, but not in the way that right-wingers claim. Right-wingers will claim that like... right-wingers will claim that pedophilia is being normalized by like trans people existing, but really I think is being normalized by right-wingers themselves when they actively will defend pedophilia or celebrate and support outed files. It's really up. It's always projection. I mean, this is what this guy is responding to is like my list of enemies, and half of this list has done questionable things with underage people, or are out and about sex pests, or have their own sex crimes. You know what I mean? Under the threat of a lawsuit, and while appearing to read a letter from his lawyer, Ethan Klein attempts to formally retract 3 defamatory claims against Denims. Ethan admits Denims didn't call CPS, denounced those that called CPS, never made another call for action for another to call. Wait, what?
I want to address something from Denim's correction demand in her letter. The letter claims I falsely stated that Denims herself filed the preceding CPS report, or that Denims caused others to do so. The letter also states on March 11th, I acknowledged Denims had denounced herself or any.
His lawyer told him to issue a retraction, so he ended up folding? What? This is a legal apology, isn't it? He's lying. He didn't apologize. Denims asked for a retraction. If Ethan thought it was not actionable, I don't think he would have. Wait, what is it? He's saying he never said it, not retracting. Oh, okay. So instead of, okay. He's just denying the allegations. Okay, he's not retracting. He's not issuing a retraction.
I want to address something from Denims' correction demand in her letter. The letter claims I falsely stated that Denims herself filed the preceding CPS report, or that Denims caused others to do so. The letter also states on March 11th, I acknowledged Denims had denounced herself or anyone in her community making contact with CPS. Let me be clear. I have never claimed that Denims called CPS for saying that I think that I hold her personally. I personally, in my opinion, hold her responsible for the CPS thing, which is obvious based on the call. So she thought it would be wise to sue me. Bro, you were so smug. She did CPS. Remember that? Okay, good.
Right now, one's a little bit more nasty to me.
I have never implied that Denims called CPS. If my statements were interpreted as stating this, I want to correct the record and make it clear that I do not believe that Denims called CPS.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, if my statement were interpreted, I want to correct the record. Seems like a way to retract without while sheltering your ego. No? Am I crazy? Like, under what circumstances would you actually issue a statement like this that your lawyer wrote for you if you did not actually want to correct the record?
CPS, obviously. Moronic, idiotic, stupid.
Wait, what?
Believe that Denims called CPS, obviously. Moronic, idiotic, stupid.
Wait, you think it's moronic, idiotic, and stupid to believe that Denims call CPS? I wonder if his fan base that has been saying that I called CPS or Denims called CPS will now also feel idiot, moronic, or stupid. Probably not, because they are idiotic and moronic and stupid, and none of this will obviously matter. Bro, I log on because I have finally time to watch the stream, and we're still talking about Ethan drama, bro. Can we move on from this? Talk about substance stuff's going on? Dog, we are on 5 hours and 37 minutes on the broadcast, and I clicked on a retraction coming from Ethan literally a minute ago. 1 minute ago. For the past 5 hours and 36 minutes, we have only covered serious subjects. Only covered serious subjects. And I only, after moving on to Bernie Sanders talking about DC corruption and that on the Andrew on the Flagrant podcast hosted by Andrew Schultz, did I go, okay, let me click on this this thing. How do you time it so perfectly where you come in here to be like, this is really up, dude? Andrew, yes, Andrew's a friend of the show. I think sometimes we think you don't snipe like that. At this point, you got to realize, you know.
Let me also address the point in the letter that I claimed Denim caused others to call CPS. I did not state, and I do not believe Denims made a direct call to action to her audience to contact CPS. Obviously, right? Never said that?
Huh. Well, good thing he thinks it's stupid to even imply that. What is this? For the record, here is saying she did call CPS. What is this?
Of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention.
Bro, you're so smug. She did CPS. Remember that? Okay, good.
Right now.
Wait, he almost said she did CPS.
She did CPS.
She did CPS. Oh, that's so funny. I don't get it. Like, how does his fan base not realize what he's doing all the time? They can't be that stupid, right? Like, there's no way. I guess they are. I don't really understand it. Like, they're just like, this kind of stuff I can't believe this kind of stuff works. Yeah, you got no proof. Didn't call her totally different. No, yeah, you're right. She did CPS. Motivated reasoning. I'm gonna keep it $1.50. As a watcher, right, of numerous different kinds of podcasts and things that revolve around political commentary, if the stuff that I was consuming was so consistently leading me astray, I would stop consuming that shit. Okay? Like if there was Kaya place, same way Asmon's fans don't understand what the Asmon is doing. Asmon literally calls on his donators stupids and laughs to their faces, and nobody's batting an eye to that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they have to be so oblivious to the way that like normal people operate that they think they can associate themselves positively with someone like Asmongold, not realizing that if their immediate family members knew that this is the type of content they were consuming, that this is the guy that they were getting their notes from, they were probably shut off their internet. Like it's pretty crazy. Like the conversation that took place with Wisdom was kind of enlightening with respect to like someone who is online but not that online. You know what I mean? Like that person, a person like Wisdom, finding out that a person like Asmongold exists is such like it's such a perfect demonstration of like what happens when people start staring into the abyss for the first time ever. It's a bit different from Asmon, to be honest. Like 250,000 people have left the H3 community because of Ethan's crash out. Yeah. I randomly clicked on Asmon's stream the next day and he watched a clip that said that Wisdom agreed with him and was a future fan, not joking. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Based. Based.
Yes, remember that? Okay, good.
Right now, one's a little bit more.
That's why Mike says it's unironically good. Someone like Asmon is the face of the right because no one wants to associate with them. Oh, no, I agree with that. It got 300,000.
The thing is, I used to use a dead rat as an alarm clock, actually, for my stream. Whenever the sun would come up, it would start cooking the corpse of the rat, and then the smell would wake me up. So I would use the rat effectively as an alarm clock, and as soon as it, it got hot enough, it would wake me up, and then I would know, oh shit, it's time to stream. Have you guys ever done that before?
That's not.
You guys ever done that before? No, no one has ever done that.
No way.
He's fucking around, though.
This guy's also chat.
This is clearly a joke. No, it's not. Dude, it's so funny. No, it's not. It's not. I know it's unbelievable. It's like with Israel, right? When you hear something that Israel has done and you go, there's no way. This is a anti-Semitic trope that you are representing. There is no shot that Israel has done this, and then you're like, oh my God, Israel, as a matter of fact, has done this. Asmongold is very similar to Israel in that vein, where you're like, no human being is capable of being this disgusting and this unclean. And then you're like, oh my God, it's true. How is that even possible? What is this? By the way, Enos community aren't the ones crashing out. The vast majority of posts on the H3 subreddit are snark-related posts, 200 plus posts sorted by top of the week. Hasan Piker, Denims, Ian or Anissa, non-specific snark, normal post. Yeah, I mean, we know.